Hey, welcome to Crossroads. Folks, there was just a large-scale attack on Israel. You might have seen the videos, of course. Iran launched missiles, they launched drones. Almost all of them were shot down. But of course, now the world is in a very murky era of peace, and it might not last. The Iranian regime basically launched a barrage of missiles and drones, again, hundreds of them, against Israel on Saturday night. And despite the large show of force, nearly all of them were intercepted by Israel or the United States, the UK, and Jordan. And there were no serious reports of damage as well with all this. Israel at first promised retaliation, in fact, the exact same night, in what could have been the start of a large-scale regional war. It was almost happening. But soon after they had a call with President Joe Biden, well, Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu called off the attack. And it seems that Biden is playing a strange role in all of this. It seems he told Israel to stand down, kind of. We don't know the content of that call yet. And we also now are hearing that Biden might have had communications with Iran, giving them directives on how to limit their attack, which is also very strange. The full details of all of this are still coming out. A lot of it is just rumor right now, but credible rumor. Biden right now is working on a regional diplomatic response to Iran. We'll see what they do, yet peace currently is here, but it's deeply unstable, basically. Now look, folks, Iran, on the main story of this, they launched a barrage of 185 drones, 110 surface-to-air missiles, and 36 cruise missiles. The United States, the UK, and Jordan, they all helped Israel intercept nearly all of them, like 99% of them. And the ones that actually did get through, they caused very minor damage. Like there was a video, for example, of a small crater in one of the Air Force bases, like on the runway. The only casualties so far that we know of, there's rumors of a 7-year-old child who was hit by shrapnel. We don't know the full details on it yet, but look, over 100 missiles, it didn't do much damage, frankly. This was launched by Iran in retaliation after Israel killed several top Iranian military leaders in a strike in Syria. Believe which side you want on it. They both have different stories. Iran claims that Israel struck its embassy and killed one of their officials at the embassy. Israel claims, while not saying they did it, the strike was on a building next to the embassy, and it was top-level, Iranian military officials who were directing terrorist operations in the region, in Syria. And as things currently stand, it's not clear what the response from Israel is going to be. Although it does appear Israel has backed off what was expected to be immediate retaliation. It was looking like Israel was going to launch attacks deep into Iran and basically start a regional war, frankly. Had that happened, you could expect global terror networks, especially to Iran, launching attacks, and you could expect many other Muslim countries aligned with Iran and also the axis of evil, China, Russia, North Korea, Venezuela, and a handful of other countries also launching their own operations. That has been put on hold. The world right now is on the brink of World War III in the truest sense of the word. And we're in a very unstable era of peace right now. Biden, meanwhile, has been making it clear the United States will not get directly involved in any kind of counterattack. So Biden told Israel, we'll defend you. If Iran launches rocket attacks, we'll help you shoot them down like we just did. But if they attack Iran, the United States will not be directly involved with that. The relationship the U.S. will have with that very likely be closer to our relationship with Ukraine. The only difference being we would help protect them against counterattacks, it seems, although we'd see. Biden's response to Israel, though, has been to, quote, think strategically, as they're saying it. The Times of Israel said this. It said U.S. President Joe Biden told Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on their call last night, this was Saturday, that Israel must think carefully and strategically about the risk of escalation as it weighs how to respond to Iran's drone and missile attack. A senior Biden administration official says. They say the administration official is careful not to say that the U.S. opposes an Israeli military response to Iran's attack. However, he stressed in a briefing with reporters that the U.S. would not join Israel in such a strike. And he said, quote, Israel has made clear to us that they're not looking for a significant escalation with Iran. They're looking to protect themselves and defend themselves, the senior administration official said with the Biden admin. They further in, they say, how Israel responds to the Iranian strike is a, quote, calculation the Israelis have to make. This was an unprecedented attack from Iran against Israel. At the same time, we think the overall exchange here, the Israelis came out very much on top, he says, and added, quote, we are committed to defending Israel, but we would not be a part of any response, quote unquote. Now, in other words, the United States would help defend Israel if they're attacked, similar to what the U.S. did in the night of the Iranian attack. But if Israel decides to invade Iran or launch deep strikes into Iran, the U.S. will not be involved with that. At least that's what they're saying. Now, so far, the response from the U.S. and its allies has been limp-wristed. It's been totally limp-wristed. They're not even talking about sanctions. Look, I'll be talking more about this, though, after a quick word from our sponsor.
Experts agree. One of the best ways to protect against financial uncertainty is to diversify your portfolio. Learn how physical gold and silver can secure your retirement funds from today's economic challenges. With a gold IRA from American Hartford Gold, you can safeguard your wealth with no penalties or taxes when you transfer your current qualifying retirement accounts. Call now and our precious metals specialists will send you a free information kit, no cost or obligation. American Hartford Gold, a trusted industry leader with an A+ from the Better Business Bureau, has a 5-star rating from thousands of happy clients. Whether you are getting physical precious metals in a gold IRA or delivered to your doorstep, we offer only the highest quality gold and silver. For your peace of mind, we also offer a no-fee buyback commitment, a low-price guarantee, along with free shipping and free insurance. So don't wait. Call the number on your screen today and secure your financial future.
Now, look, as everyone waited for what would happen with this whole conflict with Iran, Biden's big response, the big one, it was expected to come through G7, which includes the United States, United Kingdom, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, and the European Union as a whole. And here's how that one went. Express UK said the G7 statement issued through Downing Street said, quote, we, the leaders of the G7, unequivocally condemn in the strongest terms Iran's direct and unprecedented attack against Israel. In other words, nothing, folks. We stand with Israel, hearts and minds, no response. They say this, though. They say Iran fired hundreds of drones and missiles towards Israel. Israel, with the help of its partners, defeated the attack. We express our full solidarity and support to Israel and its people and reaffirm our commitment towards its security. And they add, with its actions, Iran has further stepped toward the destabilization of the region and risks provoking an uncontrollable regional escalation. This must be avoided, and they add that we will continue to work to stabilize the situation and avoid further escalation. In this spirit, we demand that Iran and its proxies cease their attacks, and we stand ready to make further measures now and in response to further destabilizing initiatives. We will also strengthen our cooperation to end the crisis in Gaza, including by continuing to work towards the immediate and sustainable ceasefire and the release of hostages by Hamas, and deliver increased humanitarian assistance to Palestinians in need. Now, look, what does this mean? They're not taking sides. The G7, which means the United States, basically all the countries in the European Union, Canada, Japan, they're not taking sides. They're not siding with Israel, and they're actually not siding with Iran either. They're not taking sides. They're saying they'll defend Israel, and that's it. And they're also saying that even with Gaza and Palestine, that they're going to be supporting the Palestinians as Israel launches its war there. And so they're trying to stay out of it, it seems. Now look, to me, basically, they're saying they're not going to do anything. They seem to be trying to stay relatively neutral on this entire issue. And they don't want to trigger some regional war. They don't want to set off that tinderbox. They're still saying they will support Israel. They're still saying they oppose Iran's attacks. It looks like they're even calling now for basically nothing. They're not even calling for sanctions, folks, and this is important. They're not even talking about revoking the money that Biden freed up for Iran right before it began launching operations to revive global terrorism. Look, right now it seems the response is to try to stop this all from spreading. And frankly, there's a lot of questions behind this. Now, remember the big story behind all of this. Do you remember how Iran was doing when Trump left office? Iran was a failing regime. It was dying. There was uprisings. There was a division between the people and the leadership. They were running out of money, and they were dying as a regime. Trump had crippled Iran with sanctions. They were in the process of their death throes. And then what happened? Well, in September last year, Joe Biden freed up $6 billion for Iran as a kind of payment for them to release 5 American citizens, something that might go against U.S. standards on negotiating with terrorists. They take American citizens hostage. Biden paid them $6 billion to have those hostages released, and then Iran immediately revived global terrorism. And there's some other parts to this as well, and this is important. I'll be talking, though, about how the global resurgence of terror came about through this freeing up of Iran's money by Biden, but this will only be on Epoch TV. And now, of course, we face possible nuclear attacks happening in response to the Israel-Iran conflict. Both of them are threatening the other in some regard. All of this is going to be only on Epoch TV. So if you're joining us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Rumble, please consider joining us on epochtv.com. If you want to hear those stories and more, and also join the live Q&A with your subscription, you'll not only get access to my show, but also other great shows like Facts Matter with Roman Valmakov, American Thought Leaders with Yanya Kellick, and many, many others, including as well our special features and documentaries like The Final War, China's 100-year plan to defeat America, one of the ones I made recently, and it's all unfolding right now. Let me show you a quick trailer before we jump, and if you want to watch more, link in the description below.
The greatest threat facing the United States is the CCP.
The Epoch Times investigation team had studied the CCP for years, but what we uncovered was yielding evidence beyond our imagination.
With Chairman Mao, with the Prime Minister, our talks have been characterized by frankness.
The Clinton administration said, oh, don't worry about it. This will be a poison pill for China.
China's strategic goal is to make sure that the U.S. has 4 enemies, and one of them must be a terrorist group.
We are giving of our life's blood so that the Chinese Communist Party can survive and thrive.